really hot.
It's so hot. The sweat is also we're not used to the sweat in Denmark.
It's burning sensation.
This is Death Valley in the US, and if you haven't worked it out yet, it's a pretty hot place. In fact, last week it got so close to breaking the record for hottest temperature ever recorded.
If you experience the top temperatures here, you're maybe experiencing that world record, which is really exciting for many folks.
As exciting as a world record is, this sort of weather can be really dangerous.
You can maximum stay out like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
It's not just here at Death Valley where people are feeling the heat. For the past few weeks, most of the US, Europe, and a lot of countries in the Northern Hemisphere have been experiencing some pretty extreme heat waves. And as a result, we've seen massive wildfires, collapsing guards, and people doing whatever they can to stay cool.
Get us in trouble.
To find out what's going on, I decided to call mine and everyone else's favourite weather guy, Nate Byrne.
Hi, Jack.
Nate, what is going on in the Northern Hemisphere right now?
Right, so in the Northern Hemisphere right now, it is summer, but we've also got heat wave conditions going on. Essentially, a heat wave is when you have temperatures well above average for several days, and they're really, really dangerous, particularly when it doesn't cool down overnight.
Nate says there are a couple of things contributing to the heat waves, including a high pressure system.
When you see the weather on like the telly or something like that, you'll see the H's and the L's. Well, they are talking about pressure, right? So a high pressure system is where there is a lot of air trying to pack into a space.
When there is a high pressure system, there is a good chance of clear skies and no rain, which sounds like a lovely day out. But as we've seen, it can heat things up pretty quickly.
Those high pressure systems are getting stuck in place so that the air at the ground remains really slow moving under those clear skies and just heats up and heats up and heats up. There's no cold air moving in to get rid of it. It just stays in place and causes these heat wave conditions.
Is climate change also playing its part here? Are we seeing that happen as well?
Yeah, we've had globally warmer oceans than we've ever seen before since around about mid-March. And oceans are actually a big part of what contributes to heat. So if the water's warm all the time, day and night, that can really heat up the air above it, and that's contributing to this.
While the bomb hasn't officially announced it yet, Nate reckons that the natural weather phenomena, El Nino, is also contributing to the heat.
With an El Nino versus a La Nina, which we've seen in the last few years and seen lots of wet weather in the east of the country, for us in Australia, it actually ends up with warmer, drier conditions in the east of the nation.
During an El Nino weather event, there is less moist air around, which means fewer storms and less rain, but higher chances of drought. And experts reckon that what is happening in the Northern Hemisphere right now could be a sign of what's to come later in the year for us here in Australia.
Australia's summer is likely at this stage, not guaranteed, depends on El Nino, but it looks likely to be warmer and drier than average. Since we've had years and years of La Nina, generally, it's looking pretty moist out there. Most of our dams are relatively full, lots of our rivers are flowing, and lots of our soils have some moisture in there. So we're likely to have a warm, dry summer, but probably not as bad as it could be because there's so much water in the system still. But it won't take much or long for a summer to dry us out, and then we could be in some pretty dire straits.